Welcome to All Things Drumph, episode number 11. A special thanks and hello to all you beautiful thinking people out there. It is time again for a newsworthy broadcast. Before we continue though, hit that like button, subscribe for our growing content, become a member, and crush that bell while you're at it. Don't miss any more content. Huge disclaimer here. This channel is opinion, but it is based on fact. None of your questions are going to be answered unless you are a subscribed member of this channel. However, suggestions are welcomed, including critical analysis. So questions that we're going to tackle here and now. Bernie's demise, the black vote, the young black vote, Rachel Maddow, Bernie Sanders accused defines establishment, Joe Biden to drop out. Biden has lots to answer for. Warren endorsement, Warren staffer, close race, Biden survival, and what now? So I'm going to unpack this for you right now. Bernie's demise, it seems imminent. Is it possible that Bernie put the last nail in his campaign? Is he going to go by the wayside and give it all up so Joe can move forward? It remains to be seen. But where was the black vote? Bernie was polling extremely well in all of those states, and he was projected to be the winner in many. So we need to figure out what happened there. How about the young black vote? Everywhere else, the young black vote was there for Bernie except in the southern states. Now, the southern states, we know, was predominantly populated by the older black adults. When you leave the southern states, older and younger black adults are leaning Bernie Sanders. The remaining races look to be quite competitive and promising for the Bernie camp. Rachel Maddow, is she pushing for a brokered convention? Every question she asks Bernie supposes and pushes the narrative of Bernie dropping out, stepping aside. It's funny that when they were first asking Bernie and the rest of the crowd, well, what should happen if somebody has the plurality of the vote? Should we go with that person or should it go to a convention? Well, everybody else wanted the convention. They were 100% convention, and Bernie was the only one who said, well, no, if you have the majority of the votes, and it doesn't have to be the actual majority, then you should be the nominee. And he said, if that's to happen, I will honor that. Still. But it looks like the other candidates might be a little afraid of that. And not only the other candidates, but the elites that control the mainstream media are still panicking over Bernie's chances of actually getting the plurality of the vote, and therefore possibly becoming the Democratic nominee. They are shaking in their boots, and they put people like Rachel Maddow out there to be the henchman to try to slice and dice Bernie with these questions that are implying that he should back out of the race because he is now not the actual front runner. Even though the race is so close, anything could happen. Rachel, love and respect you, but I hate to say this, but you're doing the henchman job for the elites. That is absolutely evident. You are so spot on with most of your broadcasts, and now that looks a little suspect. Sometimes pushing back against power is the right thing to do, Rachel. Take that lesson from Bernie Sanders. He pushes back against all authoritarian types, all manipulators. And I think the rest of everybody should follow his footsteps. Okay, moving on. Bernie was accused of not being able to carry the general for lack of the old black voter support. Basically, they're saying to Bernie, well, Bernie, you thought you were going to get all this black support and you didn't get it, so shouldn't you just step aside and let the general election go to somebody who could get the black vote? Okay, there's an argument there. Bernie Sanders, accused of calling old black voters from the South establishment hacks because they voted for Joe Biden. That was the insinuation in the questions that were put to him. But Bernie has been very clear on who and what the establishment is. And he has never called out any voters, and he has done nothing but praise all voters, working class, undocumented, whoever they are. Bernie feels if you're an American by his standards, you have already earned his respect and his help and his admiration. So Bernie goes on when he makes it very, very clear that when he refers to establishment, he is referring to Big Pharma, fossil fuels, the 1%, Democratic leadership who joined forces against him. Never has he accused any voters of being other than just the electorate and the people that he wants to welcome into his camp. All voters. That's Republican, Democrat, Independent, women, men, black, white, Latino, Asian, whoever you are, indigenous, Bernie has a spot for you. So why is the mainstream media not asking Joe Biden to drop out of the race due to his lack of Latino support? The Latino support went right to the Bernie camp. So it's a mystery to me why they harp on Bernie when he has a deficit in the southern older black voter bloc, but they don't harp on Joe Biden for his lack of support in the entire Latino camp. Anyways, moving on. Mainstream media hacks not asking Joe Biden if he's accusing the Latino vote, always there for Bernie, of being some sort of villainous bloc just because they voted for Bernie, when they did that to Bernie because he refers to the establishment and never once referred to the electorate as the establishment. Maybe Joe Biden, by referring to Bernie as a radical and unrealistic thinker, perhaps that label, he's throwing that at the Latino voters? No, I don't believe that. But the mainstream media will want you to believe that Bernie is throwing shade at a certain part of the electorate. He's not. Bernie is welcoming all, from all sides of the electorate. So, that being said, while they reap praise on Joe Biden, who they know will lose under the onslaught of accusations he will field in the general, there is so much in Joe Biden's past. He has so much to answer for. He has racial problems. He has corporate problems. He has billionaire problems. He has so much weight that he'll be carrying to the general, and his ability to field these tough attacks or questions is going to be very, very telling as we approach this period. The Warren endorsement. It was amazingly courageous for Elizabeth Warren to bow out when she did. If she waited too much longer, her endorsement would diminish in value. The fact that she is bowing out now gives her a chance to sit back and think and wonder, which direction does she go in? Now, let's not be too quick to this big praise on that, because if you were Elizabeth Warren, you're going to need time to think too, because you're waiting for somebody to call you up and say, hey, how does VP sound to you? So the first one to jump on the VP bandwagon and Elizabeth Warren at the title is probably going to get that endorsement immediately. But in my estimation, she knows the only place where it should go, and I believe that's where it's going. You and I both know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to jinx it by putting that out there. Now, when a Warren staffer, and a high-level staffer, throws it out on social media that he has already set his sights on voting and donating and being there for the Bernie Sanders campaign, he has opened the door for all the other members of the Warren camp to rush in and help make Bernie the next president of the United States of America, of which everyone will benefit. From low income to no income to high income to middle income, there will be benefits for all under this plan. The race right now is extremely close. The massive win that Bernie is racking up in California is going to amount to quite a delegate catch-up. They're going to be so close that any one state out there could put Bernie back over the top. But if you look at that very closely, when Bernie was over the top, he was unequivocally the leader in the first three races. He was just racking up delegates and the popular vote. All of a sudden, nobody wanted to say he was really the front runner. Well, you could put him in, but, hey, third place, look at that. Klobuchar, look up, don't be so quick to call Bernie the front runner. Biden gets a boost from everybody jumping ship and throwing their support behind him, which inevitably would put him out front temporarily. And they're all on the bandwagon. Joe Biden's the one. He's the chosen one. He's in the lead. He's moving forward. There is nobody else that should be in this ticket. Everybody else, please drop out. Come on, out of the pool. Joe's doing the backstroke. Such a hypocritical exhibition of corporate shills. It's disgusting, actually, to watch the way this is unfolding. I don't know if the people behind the coordination of this are actually reading back their own plan, because if they did proofread it, it would be evident to them that, oh my God, we look so obvious. We look so horrible. But no, they continue on this path of self-destruction. Does anybody believe that Joe Biden is going to survive even his first debate with Bernie Sanders? Not to mention the subsequent ones that will be coming up. And then when that's done, let's just say that the establishment Democrats are able to pull him through, regardless of his performances. How is he going to look when he's up against the reality TV star, who, every time he gets flustered, all he does is basically blow you off like you're a fly and refuses to participate in the conversation because he knows he can't, But that carries weight for the people watching. They think that's a show of strength, when it is actually his perpetual show of weakness. But Biden will not be able to sustain that. Bernie Sanders will dismiss you just as quick and as easy as you might try to dismiss him, and show you up to be a flea. So, in conclusion, what is my final analysis? Bernie Sanders all the way. Bernie. That's what I'm thinking, okay? I think Bernie can go all the way. If the Democratic corporate establishment just lays off, keep your fingers off the pulse. Allow these guys' hearts to beat so everybody can see them and understand who has a genuine, honest heartbeat and whose heartbeat is maybe a little tainted. Give your man some credibility and allow him to move forward with the momentum that he spent all of these years building. He's an honest broker. Let's see if you guys can be honest brokers as well. So leave your respectful comments, please. Don't forget to hit the like button. Become a member. Crush the bell. Subscribe. And once again, good folks, remember, I have to say it. Never give up and never give in. But keep an open mind, because knowledge is power. So do your research and build your power. So until the next time, take care, and thank you for spending time with us here on this channel.